Welcome back to Dirty 20, everyone. Today we take a look at the future of D&D by looking at its past. Let's get on with the show. Thanks for joining us, lovely people. Now, as you may or may not know, late in September on the panel of the future of D&D during D&D Celebration 2021, a fairly large bomb was dropped. Coinciding with the 50-year anniversary in 2024 for Dungeons & Dragons, there will be a new evolution of D&D. Now, they were fairly cryptic about everything on the stream, but do check it out in the link down below. It's at about 8 hours and 10 minutes where they make the announcement. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what's the big deal? Well, to answer that question, we kind of need to look back a little bit at the history of the editions in D&D. D&D 5e has been out since about 2014 officially. It was play tested a couple of years before that, which makes it actually one of the longest lived editions of Dungeons & Dragons. It is probably the most successful edition in terms of bringing in new players to the game, and it's definitely been a success financially. Before it, you had 4th edition. Now, 4th edition has its fair few detractors. We've spoken a little bit about 4e in the past, particularly when talking about things that I like to use from that edition when I run a game. Now, don't get me wrong, I see the problems with 4th edition, but it's the edition that got me back into D&D, so I kind of have a soft spot for it. But it is very different to 5e. Now, 3rd edition was an interesting one. Roughly about 3 years after it was initially released back in the year 2000, they actually released a revised edition, which famously became known as 3.5. Very quickly, though, there was a bloat that started to happen with 3rd edition and 3.5. One which, quite honestly, every edition has to contend with at one point or another. Too many books too quickly. That's pretty much what it boils down to. It added a lot of complexity to an already fairly complex game. But the edition was very popular, and it's one of the reasons why there was a bit of a backlash when 4th edition came out. Also because there had been a lot of books and people had invested a lot of money into the game, and now this new edition kind of made them obsolete. This would also kind of be the case for 2nd edition, which is the edition that I first started playing in, but that happened a little bit more gradually over time. But all this brings us back to this announcement regarding this next evolution of D&D coming in 2024. Now, it's not a whole new edition, it's not 6th edition, which some people had kind of been predicting was on its way, and let's be honest, it is going to happen at some point. But in the stream itself, they were very quick to point out that this new evolution is going to be compatible with all the books that you bought for 5e. It seems that it's all going to be starting with a new set of core rulebooks. So, a new player's handbook, a new dungeon master's guide, and a new monster manual. So, it all looks very much like it's going to be a 5.5. At first, I won't lie, I was a little bit worried. To me, 5e is almost perfect. Some of you may find this surprising, especially as we have a whole series on homebrewing ways to make 5e better. But that is the thing that I like so much about it. It's so very, very flexible as a system. My worry with more and more books is that inevitable bloat seeping in. But as I said earlier, and as we have seen, it is kind of a natural evolution of any edition. And 6e will eventually come, certainly. Now, although I do advocate embracing change, I also think that one of the wonderful things about this great game we love is that you can play any edition that you want. I have friends who only play 2nd edition, or will jump from one edition to another depending on who's DMing, or what time in the timeline they want to play in, all of these elements. So bring on 5.5, I say. However, there are a few things that I think I would like to see change. First of all, initiative is definitely something that needs looking at. It's very clunky and it doesn't quite make sense in a lot of situations. Our good friend Eric, the homebrew master, hopes that they are going to overhaul character creation. He says there are far too many subclasses that are kind of useless, and I do see what he's talking about. I just wonder, though, if they pull at that thread, if things are going to start unraveling very quickly. Either way, I'm actually really excited to see what they come up with. I think they've done a fantastic job with 5e thus far, and I have faith that they're going to continue doing so. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Before we jump into our character building section, please make sure that you have subscribed if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you are notified whenever we upload new videos. Okay then, guys, so today we're going to go a little bit old school. I started reminiscing about my days playing 4th edition, and it made me think about my lovely cleric that I played. So I'm going to build a cleric today, and he's going to be a human. He's going to be a variant human because we like that extra feat. We're going cleric, we're going acolyte. Now then, for his skill, I am going to go for religion. Now, this particular cleric was a cleric of Bahamut, and he was very devout, and almost annoyingly so. So, we're going to go 16 wisdom, 15 strength. We're going to go constitution 12, dex 11, charisma, no, I'm going to go intelligence 10, charisma 8. And we're going to make that dex go up and that strength go up. Okay, 2 more skills. We're going to go medicine and history. And cleric archetype. Now, we've done a lot of light clerics recently. And Bahamut is the Platinum Dragon, the sworn enemy of, I was going to say Takesis, but that is her name in Greyhawk, I think. Tiamat. And so I'm thinking Tempest might actually kind of be cool. I've looked at it in the past, and yeah, I'm going to go Tempest. Okay, so for our feat, I think I'm going to go Great Weapon Master. You can make a bonus action attack after critting or killing a creature, and you can take -5 to a melee attack for +10 damage. It's kind of similar to Sharpshooter, which you kind of always take with a with an archer. So I'm going to go Great Weapon Master. Okay, we're going to go Mace. We're going to go Scale Mail, Light Crossbow, sure, Priest Pouch, Shield, and Holy Symbol. Beautiful. And for his name, I've completely forgotten what my cleric was called when I played him in 4th edition, but I'm gonna go with Tarsus. Kind of has a little bit of a Roman kind of vibe to it, but not exactly, right? So Tarsus. Now, let's have a look at armor. So we're going to go to heavy armor, and we're actually going to put on some chainmail. Slowed if your strength is under 13, and you have disadvantage on stealth. This is always the pain with clerics, but we're just going to have to live with it. So our armor class is 18, And we have our shield there as well. So, not too bad. Not too bad. We can always upgrade that as well. So, nice looking stats. We have, decent skills. Nothing to write home about. And we're pretty hard. Now, spell-wise, the cleric gets 3 cantrips. And I'm going to go with guidance for the first one. It is just very useful to the point where you're going to be spamming it, to be honest. If you're a player, just tell your DM that anytime an ally is going to do something, you're guiding them. Then we're also going to go with Sacred Flame. Now this is a fairly good source of radiant damage. Great for killing zombies. It requires a saving throw rather than attack. So you can use it against creatures that are next to you without any problem. It scales. So that's pretty nice. And finally, for our cantrips, I'm going to go with Toll the Dead. Has a nice range of 60 feet. And it's D12s for damage, which is pretty hardcore. Also, being necrotic damage, very few creatures will resist that. Now, you have 2 spells that come from your Divine Domain, and they are Fog Cloud and Thunderwave. 2 very, very good spells. But we're going to pick 2 more. Now, remember, with clerics, the way magic works is you prepare spells. So, in theory, you know all the cleric spells. And you can prepare this number of spells to cast for that day. So, there's so many great options. You have things like Bless, Command, Detect Magic, Healing Word, Sanctuary. All of these are really good. Shield of Faith, if you wanted him to tank up even more, is a good choice. So just remember that. You can pick any spells from the cleric spell list every day. And that's according to how many spell slots you have, right? So in this case, 2 first level spells. Okay? Alright, and let's take a look at features. So 1 extra skill proficiency, 1 bonus feat is the variant human. Then acolyte features, receiving aid from those who share your faith. And our archetype is Tempest. That is our divine domain. When an adjacent creature hits you with an attack, you can shock it by using your reaction, dealing 2d8 lightning or thunder damage with a dex save for half damage. Wisdom modifier times per day. So my wisdom modifier is 16. My wisdom is 16, so my modifier is +3. That means that 3 times per day, as a reaction, I can cause 2d8 damage to anyone who hits me with an attack. Very, very nice. And they do get pretty cool as they go along. They're very thematic, I think, which is why I like the Tempest Divine Domain. And then we chose Great Weapon Master. You can make a bonus action attack after critting or killing a creature. And you can take -5 to a melee attack for +10 damage. Again, making it so that you can just kill things with a single swipe. So, there we have him, Tarsus, the Cleric of Bahamut, back from 4th edition. Hope you enjoyed that. And let us know in the comments below what you think about Tempest Clerics. and what you thought about 4th edition as well. There we have it, lovely people. What is your opinion on new editions? What would you like to see in this next evolution? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being with us. Take care of yourselves, and as always, keep slaying. If you've enjoyed this content, then please smash that like button, subscribe, share this around online, and come and visit our website, www.lavictoriaproductions.com, to see all our past episodes, as well as our blog posts and all the stuff that we're currently working on at La Victoria Productions. Why not reach out to us and tell us what you think of our videos? You can reach us on Twitter. @MouthLaVictoria is our producer. We are also on Instagram. I am Enano LVP, and our producer is Jazzy J Cherot. We're also La Victoria Productions on Facebook and LinkedIn. Come on by and let us know what you think.